After years of war, no one could stand between my men and home.
That's what Odysseus believed as Troy burned behind him. He was wrong, dead wrong. What stood between them and home wasn't an army. It was the gods themselves. An endless sea of monsters and a curse that would transform a 2-week voyage into a 20-year odyssey through hell. This is the story of the most brutal homecoming in human history. The Trojan War is over. After 10 years of bloodshed, Odysseus and his men set sail for Ithaca. The journey should take weeks. It takes another decade. Why? Because Odysseus made one fatal mistake. He blinded the Cyclops Polyphemus, who just happened to be the son of Poseidon, god of the sea. And Poseidon doesn't forgive. What follows is a relentless gauntlet of horrors. The Lotus Eaters offer his men flowers that make them forget their own families. The witch Circe turns his crew into pigs. He descends into the literal underworld and speaks with the dead. He sails past the sirens whose songs drive men mad with desire. He loses ships to the 6-headed monster Scylla, watches her devour 6 of his best men, one head at a time. But here's what makes the Odyssey devastating. While Odysseus fights gods and monsters, life at home doesn't pause. His wife, Penelope, is surrounded by over 100 suitors who've invaded his palace, devouring his wealth, pressuring her to declare him dead and remarry. His son, Telemachus, grows up without a father, powerless to defend his own home. 20 years pass. Everyone assumes Odysseus is dead, but Penelope refuses to believe it. She weaves a funeral shroud by day and secretly unravels it by night, stalling for time, clinging to hope that feels increasingly like delusion. When Odysseus finally washes ashore in Ithaca, he's alone, every single one of his men dead. He's disguised as a beggar, unrecognizable even to his own family. The suitors mock him, beat him, in his own house. And this is where Homer shows us what 20 years of suffering creates. Odysseus doesn't negotiate. He doesn't show mercy. He strings his old bow, a weapon none of the suitors can even bend, and begins the slaughter. One arrow after another. The great hall runs red. The Odyssey isn't just an adventure story. It's about the unbearable cost of survival. The question of whether you can ever truly come home after war. And what happens to a man who loses everything except his will to return. It's been told for 3,000 years because we still understand that feeling of being lost, of fighting to get back to who we were, of wondering if home will still recognize us when we finally arrive.